FX Money Show. I'm Nick and I'm your host. If you're a new trader, you'll find a powerful approach here, while experienced traders are sure to discover some intensely dynamic analysis. This show is the culmination of my 30-year career dissecting everything foreign exchange. I break it down to the how, why, and when of trading opportunities. In each episode, we'll visit with traders on their path towards top levels of trading performance. While the show's focus is on FX markets and global money flow, you'll also find us dissecting political shenanigans in DC's failed bureaucracy. So subscribe, then sit back and enjoy the show. All right, thanks for jumping on the call. As I let everybody know that we were going to do a little bit of an intense course next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we would come back the following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for some trading. I've done this course prior. In fact, I probably do it every 3 months or so, 4 months. And it becomes a quite valuable opportunity for those who are not actively trading to learn something, or to start actively trading with analysis that just simply works. So this course, what I would expect is similar to other courses, that confidence of those who participate will increase whether they have prior experience with us or not, and their confidence will just absolutely grow. And we'll see a number of new traders find their confidence at around that 70% level. When I first did this outline of the course, it was about 6-7 years ago, with volunteering my time to teach. I think I took in 25 volunteers, and out of a few hundred, we found 25 that wrote kind of an application or an essay why they would be a positive influence with proper analysis and learning how to trade professionally. So that there were, from the 25 in week 1, there were 6 volunteers that wanted to continue in week 2. Everyone that started the course had confidence of about 25 to 30, sometimes 40% at the initial session or so. And then by the end of the first week, everybody's confidence, all 25 volunteers, had confidence of well over 65-70%. By the time we got done with week 2, those 6 volunteers that went through the extended course and a little bit more of private sessions, and then we went through their trading performance, and every one of them saw daily returns. No drawdowns, no daily drawdowns in that experiment. Everyone saw daily returns. Some people, more than others. But the takeaway from that course is that it all comes down to the analysis. And with a little bit of practice and forward-looking analysis, or leading analysis that does in fact lead off the hard right edge of the chart, anybody can really learn how to trade with a little bit of focus. So that is what I expect everybody to do next week as we go through the course. So on the call is Liam, Ronald, Cody, and Alex, and they have each gotten a story, or have a story of their own to tell with regard to what they had done prior in terms of their trading experience, and how long they've been on board with us, and what they've seen in levels of performance or their difference so far. Some are relatively new. Alex and Ronald are relatively new to the course and what we do, while Liam and Cody have been around a while. Liam, can you turn your microphone on for a second? How long have you been trading?
I opened my first chart in July of 2013.
And what was prior to coming to us, what was your approach?
To put it succinctly, my approach was try this, find out why it doesn't work, and then try something else, because I believed in the markets, but couldn't figure out how to make them work in my favor.
And here's a question for you. Had you ever dissected the analysis when it wasn't working?
I made my best effort from a technical analysis, trying to figure out how I could get a leading edge. I saw some things were really random. Other things seemed to have an edge, but then they would fail. And so I was like, well, I don't know what I'm missing here. I don't understand what they're not telling me.
Okay. Would that have been a market condition edge? And when the market conditions changed, that edge kind of disappeared? Is that?
I was hoping for that and could not find it.
And how long have you been on board with I4X now?
I believe it's been late 2019 is when I first came across a post that you had posted in a group. Like, yeah, this is where it's at. And that I really looked back since.
And what's your confidence level now?
I know this is going to sound kind of presumptuous, but I would say that my confidence level is about 99.9%, because I know that I will take a losing trade, or I might even have a series of losing trades, but that's going to come right back. I literally this week, I was like, yeah, you know what? I could walk away from these charts for a week. I could walk away from the charts for a month and come and sit back down, open a chart, look at the analysis and the tools that I have at my disposal, and I will know literally within, a moment or two, either I should be in, out, and which direction I should go.
Right. That's pretty good. So you've got some resiliency that it's not necessarily market condition dependent. It's just sitting there and grinding away, but the transparency is there, so you're confident enough that whether there's a little bit of noise or whatnot, it's going to come back pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Ronald, can you turn your microphone on? Hello. So Ronald is fairly new with I4X, and I know you haven't traded a whole lot, but tell us what you knew about the market before and what you've gained so far in your short history with I4X.
So basically, I knew that the market existed on a much larger scale than, say, NASDAQ or in New York Stock Exchange. I knew that there was money being traded quite a bit. In fact, I knew nothing, basically. I read a post on Reddit. I dissected that post, and I said to myself, with all the noise around, this gentleman seems like he knows what he's doing. I had a private conversation with you, listened to what you had to say, watched the videos that you had, looked at them, and from where I started to now, which I haven't traded, as you said, I basically know that there's a roadmap. As long as I follow that roadmap, it'll lead to where I need to go.
What was your confidence in being able to establish that roadmap prior to reading my post?
There was no roadmap. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I just saw a bunch of lines on the charts. I wouldn't know where to begin.
Okay. And once how about now? What's your confidence of finding and sticking to that path, or those bricks in a row?
70%. All it is just looking at what you've presented, following the rules, and you'll get where you need to go.
Sweet. Thank you so much. Cody?
Yes.
Yes. So Cody's been around for a while. He likes cats and trading. But Cody, your experience prior to I4X.
Oh, do we have to talk about that?
Please do.
So, yeah, I guess it was, I want to say 2010, 2011 when I first came across the markets. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I actually started with binary options. I was that dumb guy who thought a binary option platform was a good way to go. That's straight up gambling. But anyway, I got into the actual Forex market with I don't know, just trying to understand price action and different indicators that could somehow tell me the future, which don't really exist, or at least they didn't.
At least that's the
So
key word. At least they did.
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm going back in time here, 10 years ago and remembering how pitiful it was. But yeah, I fell through every, hole I could find, trying to, the internet gurus who came across those guys. I won't name names, but yeah, it wasn't a good time. I lost a lot of money, lost a lot of time, I guess, but I learned a lot of what not to do.
And your confidence back then?
I don't know. What are the
Was
odds?
it gambling?
Yeah. What are the odds of
Okay.
hitting the bullseye with a blindfold on? That was my confidence. 10%, 20%.
Yeah. Okay. And a little bit about now.
Um, I would say I know I'm going to make money, pretty much every day. So I don't know, what is that? 100%? I don't know. I don't even worry about it.
Yeah. So so being responsive is important. Having good analysis is important. Let's talk about the analysis a little bit. So you've done some coding for us. You volunteered your skill set for some of our analytical models. One of those analytical models, as you came on board, we talked about, sentiment leading volume and volume leading price. And yet when you started, you were focused a little bit on price action. How valuable is price action right now?
To me,
Yes.
I mean, it holds some value, but I mean, it's the last thing I notice. It's the last thing I look at. And it doesn't really affect whether or not I take a trade.
Yeah. And why is that?
Because it's the last thing that happens. Sentiment happens first over and over and over again all day long, and then volume, and then price. So why would I focus on price?
Sure.
It's the last thing. Yeah.
Sure. And that's, that was the point in the question, is that, what retail traders don't realize, and they will trade to eternity, and they'll do so with an approach that is always following the bull bear. Whether the market's going to move to the downside or back to the upside, it's always following, and that's price action. But in the institutional sector of the industry, market sentiment leads that price. In the institutional side or sector of the industry, market volume leads that price. So as a retail trader, the objective should be to get to that sentiment, get to that volume, but all of the retail platforms, not one of them provides by default or natively analysis that does that. And that's problematic because there are millions of traders out there that don't understand everything on their platform is not meant for market transparency. So based upon what you know now, Cody, is the market transparent to you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And are you concerned about, where the direction of, say, the euro dollar is going, or are you just waiting for it?
There's no prediction. I just wait.
All right. Good times. Thank you so much. Alex?
Sure.
All right, Alex, you've been around a couple months now. What was your experience prior to iForex?
I have been trading for 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was horrible.
It's horrible.
But yeah, I started on 2017, more or less. And I practice all the possible things that appears on the market, everything. But nothing works.
You've been on board with us, or you've joined the community a couple months ago. And what was different for you?
Everything. Everything. I have been on groups, on paid groups, and everything. And this group is something abnormal, not normal.
Okay. And did you just start recently trading with the analysis?
Yes, I finished the course 3 days ago, and I have I practiced the basic, not the advanced, and I made 4% on 1 hour, maybe. I mean,
okay, and
I didn't have
what
time,
was the?
and I made 4%. So
okay, so 4% in the 2 hours of trading.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. And you see, thank you, Alex. That's kind of the problem with traders around the world is they're fed, information, or they learn approaches from other retail traders, right? Whether it's smart money concepts. Well, smart money concepts are just concepts. It's all the same nonsense because it's all still standing on the tail end of the bull or the bear. And as the bull is bucking around, you're trying to ride the bull, and it doesn't work that way because it's always trying to respond to the next move. Because that's what price action does. And as Cody said, price action is lagging. Market sentiment will always lead. Then volume is the follow through. And then volume is what causes the price to change. So, using those retail centric, methodologies from traders who are not trading professionally to start with is just not a good start. So even as Ronald had said, is there was something different in what I was presenting, and it just resonated with him to jump on board. And even before he's finished the course and started to trade, he's got a level of confidence that the path of bricks has been laid down before him, and he's going to Oz. Yeah, that's it's good stuff. So what I expect from everybody else who participates next week is that they will see a near instantaneous result or response, just like you guys have. That's it. I do appreciate your time on the call, and we shall chat with you soon. So long. You just listened to an episode of the FX Money Show. Every day I teach traders around the world proper market analysis that drives their confidence through the roof. Subscribe to our podcast, enjoy the show, and discover your inner trader.